Jules we
I
have.
will.
Okay, well then we don't need to talk about that because your feelings is what your feelings are.
And so are yours,
and,
right?
And very much so. I'm cool on you. Thank you.
You cool on me?
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
Okay, be nice then.
Appreciate that. Creed.
You're a mean girl.
Appreciate that.
Girl.
Actually, you're the mean girl.
No, you're a mean girl. It flows with your name. Shamina. You're a mean girl.
Actually, Shamea.
Shamina.
At first glance, Shamea Morton seemed like the definition of charm and grace on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Always smiling, always stylish, always surrounded by laughter. She was the friend everyone wanted at the party, but behind the flawless selfies and polite manners, there's a more complicated story. Shamea's path to fame isn't only about glitz and good times, it's also about ambition, rivalry, and the hidden costs of living in the spotlight.
Yeah, I saw Portia did a birthday post for you.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
And she continued her smear campaign right after that.
I did not.
Why are you fighting with me?
Why are you fighting with me?
Because you're lying.
And you don't think
And
you've
you're
been
wrong.
lying too? And you
About
wrong
what?
too.
What have I lied
you
about?
You posted about my mom saying she did something egregious to your mom.
She absolutely
First of
did.
all, why are you
And
even
you know
bringing
she
up
did.
my mom?
What did she
Girl,
do?
I've never. And
You
anytime people
told-
ask me
okay,
about your
this is
mom,
what I'm not
I
gonna do.
say, that's not my business.
Her journey shows how easily admiration can turn into accusation when you live your life for the cameras. Today, we look at the shady side of Shamea Morton, the decisions, friendships, and moments that shaped both her rise and her reputation. Before the lights of Bravo and the drama of Atlanta's high society, Shamea Morton was a hometown girl with big dreams. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, she grew up with a passion for performing and public speaking. She wasn't an overnight celebrity. She worked her way through local entertainment scenes, appearing as a dancer, singer, and eventually a host.
My father-in-law has been in and out of the hospital, but he's still here with us today.
Shamea cheered for the Atlanta Falcons and later the Hawks, showing early on her confidence and charisma in front of large crowds. She studied broadcast journalism and sociology, building both a professional skill set and an understanding of people, something that would later help her navigate the strong personalities of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. By her mid-20s, she was already known in Atlanta's entertainment circles as a smart, ambitious woman who knew how to network. But like many who chase visibility, the next logical step was television, where charm meets controversy, and image becomes everything. Shamea entered the Bravo universe as a friend of the Housewives, someone who seemed neutral, supportive, and quick with a joke.
It was season 5. And I remember your first time coming to set. They didn't show all of that on TV.
Right.
But right then and there, I was like, that girl is so hilarious, so funny, so cool. I was like, oh, I like her. She's cool.
At first, she was mostly a background player, attending events, mediating minor conflicts, and cheering on her more famous friends. But even from the sidelines, viewers noticed her. She had presence, that natural camera comfort that made producers pay attention. Her rise was subtle but steady. When she appeared more often in group scenes, audiences began asking who she was. Soon, she became known for being close with Porsha Williams and Kandi Burruss, two of the show's biggest personalities. That connection helped her gain recognition, but it also pulled her into their long-running drama. Reality TV fame is tricky. The same friendship that lifts you up can later drag you into public fights, and that's exactly what began happening. As Shamea's name appeared in headlines more often, people stopped seeing her only as the friendly cheerleader. They started wondering what her real motives were, and whether her loyalty was as pure as it looked on camera. Her rise on the Real Housewives of Atlanta marked the beginning of both success and scrutiny, a turning point that would define how fans, blogs, and even castmates viewed her from then on. As Shamea Morton's name became more familiar on reality TV, her personal life began taking center stage too. In 2017, she married businessman Gerald Mwangi, a Kenyan-American entrepreneur. Their wedding in Nairobi drew attention not just for its beauty, but also for the cross-cultural celebration it represented. Photos from the event spread across blogs, a lavish ceremony with friends, family, and a few of her Real Housewives co-stars. Many fans saw it as Shamea's happily ever after. She often spoke proudly about her husband and the strength of their bond, especially when the show portrayed so many fractured relationships. But life as a public figure made even private joy subject to commentary. Her friendship circles on the show, particularly with Porsha Williams and Kandi Burruss, created speculation that blurred the lines between loyalty and attention. Shamea welcomed her daughter, Nyambura Mwangi, in late 2018. motherhood changed her pace and her image. On social media, she began sharing more family content and fewer behind-the-scenes Bravo moments. She seemed determined to protect her daughter from the kind of exposure she herself faced. However, being a public figure and a mother is rarely simple. Any post, a photo, a caption, even a vacation, could spark fan debates or blog commentary. Supporters praised her for balancing glamour with motherhood. Critics accused her of chasing relevance through associations. This duality, admired by some, doubted by others, would come to define much of Shamea's public identity. Despite being viewed as one of the calmer and more grounded personalities in Atlanta's reality TV scene, Shamea Morton hasn't entirely escaped controversy, though most of it has been minor and media-driven rather than scandalous. Her biggest tension came from being caught between close friends Kandi Burruss and Porsha Williams during their feud, which led some viewers to call her two-faced, while others saw her as unfairly dragged into their drama.
Stuff that people have said, I want to tell you a long time ago, that your friend ain't your friend and she don't want you in this space with her. She don't want to share this with you.
I told you the other day, I said, Porsha, I wish we could be the way we are off camera, on camera. And you know what you said? They would have to pay me more money for that. Shamea. Why can't we be that way?
I'm sorry. I need a minute.
A separate clash with Kenya Moore in Season 9, when Kenya hinted at inappropriate behavior with married men, briefly tainted her image even though Shamea denied it and others defended her.
I'm riding around trying to find the house, so I called you, and I just felt like you were pretty dismissive. Even when I showed up, you guys are outside taking a water break.
You're going way too deep with this.
Okay, first of all,
I'm sorry if I made you feel like that, but
like
we were busy.
I appreciate that, but I want you to understand
working.
why so it doesn't happen again.
It's not about you, sweetie. It's about the people of Houston, not you and your feelings.
Let's not make it an issue.
It's not an issue. It's not an issue, but I do want you to understand how I feel.
do understand.
Are you basically dismissing me?
Honestly, Shamea, look, we are all here. We had a great time.
So you're dismissing me again?
I think you should just like give the benefit of the doubt and just let it go. That's a better look.
Beyond show conflicts, she's also been part of online debates about colorism and representation, as some fans felt she received limited screen time despite her vibrant personality. At the same time, her visible presence in high-profile friendships earned her the clout chaser label from critics, a reflection of reality TV's paradox where staying visible can be mistaken for opportunism. Occasionally, resurfaced tweets or blunt social media exchanges reignited gossip, but none rose to the level of serious scandal. Overall, Shamea's shady reputation says more about how perception shapes fame than about any proven wrongdoing. While many housewives faded after their TV fame, Shamea Morton managed to stay relevant through versatility and steady reinvention. Long before the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was already active in entertainment, dancing for stars like Usher and P&K appearing in Drumline 2002 and cheering for the Atlanta Falcons. Her reality TV exposure simply expanded her platform, allowing her to co-host events, appear on Dish Nation, and maintain a polished, professional image in Atlanta's media scene. Unlike many reality stars chasing drama, Shamea focused on building credibility, aligning herself with respected hosts and family-friendly ventures. Though some critics dismissed her appearances as dependent on her more famous friends, her consistent visibility proved her staying power. By 2023-2024, she'd shifted toward community work, acting projects, and brand building centered on motherhood and cultural pride. Even without a full-time Bravo role, Shamea successfully evolved into a respected Atlanta media personality, a rare example of quiet longevity in a world built on chaos. The evolution of Shamea Morton's image is subtle but telling. When she first appeared on reality TV, she was portrayed as a sidekick, the loyal, sweet, but sometimes overlooked friend. Her earliest episodes of RHOA framed her as Porsha's friend, bubbly, upbeat, and non-confrontational. That image made her likable, but it also made her easy to underestimate. Over time, the nice friend label gave way to something more complex. As she appeared in more group scenes, fans noticed moments of shade, quick comments, strategic alliances, and playful jabs that blurred the line between humor and manipulation. That's how the phrase, "the shady side of Shamea Morton," began appearing in fan discussions online. Not because she was scandalous, but because she could deliver subtle reads with a smile. She mastered one of reality TV's oldest arts, saying just enough to stir conversation without taking the blame. This balancing act made her both intriguing and safe. She could coexist with strong personalities like Kandi Burruss, Kenya Moore, and Portia Williams without becoming their target for long. In branding terms, this was clever positioning. She crafted an identity around the fun friend with insider access, someone relatable enough to laugh with, but close enough to the drama to keep audiences curious. Outside the show, Shamea capitalized on her approachable energy. Her Instagram feed turned into a mix of lifestyle posts, family updates, and light promotional work. She collaborated with Atlanta businesses, hair care lines, and wellness events, subtly building a small influencer brand. Unlike castmates who tried launching big product lines and failed, Shamea focused on consistent presence rather than overnight success. Her brand didn't promise luxury or controversy, it promised warmth, family, and connection. And that stability, in a landscape where others burned out, became her quiet advantage. Still, fans remained divided. Some admired her consistency, others felt she lacked individuality, that her identity was still tethered to other Bravo stars. But whether viewed as loyal or opportunistic, Shamea played the long game. She adapted without scandal. And in the reality TV ecosystem, that alone is a strategy few master. As of 2025, Shamea Morton stands at a crossroads between entertainment and personal life. She remains connected to the RHOA family, even if she's not a main cast member. Her appearances on reunion specials, cameos in parties, and ongoing friendships keep her name circulating in fan discussions and gossip blogs. Away from the cameras, she's built a quieter but fulfilling life. She continues to share moments from her family, particularly her young daughter, while speaking more about cultural identity, Black motherhood, and balance. Professionally, Shamea has shown interest in moderating events and returning to hosting work. Her experience in radio and TV makes her a natural fit for red carpet interviews, podcasting, or local Atlanta entertainment coverage. Rumors occasionally surface about her being considered for full-time return to RHOA or other Bravo projects, but as of now, none have been confirmed. In recent years, she's been featured in interviews discussing women's health, relationships, and the challenges of maintaining authenticity in entertainment. Fans who once dismissed her as just a friend now see her as someone who weathered reality TV politics with relative grace. Still, the shady reputation lingers lightly, not from major scandal, but from perception. Her habit of staying close to drama without being its center keeps viewers wondering, is she the peacekeeper or the silent observer who knows when to strike? The truth may be somewhere in between. Shamea Morton has learned how to survive reality fame without letting it define her, and that in itself, the ability to stay relevant without self-destruction, might be her quietest victory. The story of Shamea Morton isn't one of scandal, it's one of strategy. Her shady side isn't about crime or betrayal, but about how perception in reality TV can shift with the smallest moves. In a franchise built on big personalities, Shamea carved space as the relatable insider, the one who could move between circles, smile through chaos, and stay standing when others fell apart. She's proof that the Real Housewives universe isn't just about wealth and conflict. It's also about endurance and emotional intelligence. Every reality show needs archetypes: the diva, the villain, the survivor, the mediator. Shamea's arc blends several of these. Not because she planned it perfectly, but because she adapted. She learned how to protect her image, how to benefit from proximity to fame without being consumed by it. Her controversies, whether the friendship feuds, the Kenya shade, or accusations of opportunism, are mild compared to Bravo's stormiest histories. But they serve as reminders that even nice cast members carry complexity. Every smile has strategy behind it. Every alliance has a purpose. If there's one takeaway from her journey, it's that in reality television, perception is power. Staying scandal-free doesn't mean staying innocent. It means knowing when to speak and when to step back. Shamea Morton has walked that tightrope for years, balancing ambition with grace, exposure with privacy, and shade with sincerity. Her story, from cheerleader to reality star, from supportive friend to quiet brand builder, captures the modern challenge of fame itself: how to be seen without being devoured by the spotlight. And as the Real Housewives franchise continues to evolve, Shamea's legacy may be this: you don't have to be the loudest to leave an impression. Sometimes the most shady move of all is learning how to stay relevant without ever losing your smile.